the kitchen today with me, Roger Mooking, and I'm going to be making some delicious, good old-fashioned pancakes with corn. Here to help, along with educating us about Canadians' safe and abundant food supply, is an enthusiastic advocate for agriculture and science, researcher Dr. Cami Ryan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Roger.
Well, we're going to be making some corn pancakes with whipped maple butter.
Well, that sounds amazing. Did you know that corn is one of the most diverse crops in the world?
I didn't know that.
A typical grocery store has about 10,000 different products lining its shelves, and 25% of those products have some form of corn in them.
Wow, well that sounds like a lot of corn. I'm excited that I get to make pancakes with them. You want to help?
Well, I'm excited. Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to mix all the dry ingredients. Here we have some all-purpose flour. We're going to add a little bit of sugar, a little bit of baking powder, and just a little bit of salt.
Looks good.
I'm just going to combine these together so that they're evenly mixed. Now I'm going to add some of our magic ingredient here, the corn, of course.
Corn is a really great ingredient to add to pancakes. Corn varieties nowadays are enhanced so that they're resistant to pest damage, but also they're resistant to herbicides because herbicides are used to control weeds.
Herbicides, I try and stay away from herbicides. Help me out on that one.
You know, it's a common misconception, Roger. People think that the pesticides that are used on the farm actually persist in the food that we eat day to day, but that's just not the case. Today's pesticides typically disappear shortly after they're applied. Herbicide-tolerant crops actually allow the farmers to produce these crops without tilling the soil. And these no-till practices actually are better for the environment.
Well, that's cool. Well, let's get back to cooking then.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, so a little bit of buttermilk, an egg. Okay.
Of course.
Yeah. Melted butter. And I'm going to see your whisking technique. You know, I see some people whisk and they go in there like this, they're beating it like this. Let's see how you're doing.
Well, pressure's on. This is taking a lot of work. But you know, Canadian farmers know a lot about hard work. Did you know that the average farm in Canada feeds about 120 people a day?
Wow.
I know. Canada is one of the largest exporter of food in the world. And you know, Canadian farmers wouldn't be able to do all of this if they didn't have access to great technology like biotech seeds.
Well, definitely good with the whisking and with the hard work. So if you can help me out by dumping that wet mix into this dry mix, then we can mix it up.
All of it?
Yeah, dump it all. Nice. So to mix that up, I've preheated this skillet to a medium-low heat. So we're going to cook it nice and even gently just to get a nice crust on there, okay?
Yep.
You want to scoop some out, get a little scoop and throw that in there? Perfect. And we're just going to let that set up and finish cooking here, okay?
Wow, looks great.
It's going to start to bubble, and that's when we know it's time to flip it. Okay, so while those are cooking, we can deal with the whipped maple butter. And it's very simple. All I've done is in a stand mixer, I've taken a pound of butter and whipped it with the whisk attachment, right? And once it's starting to whip, I drizzle in the maple syrup and it just all emulsifies. So I take a little bit of plastic wrap like this, and then I make a little log, and then I take this and I put it in my fridge, okay? And in about 20 minutes or so, we have a nice firm log of maple butter, okay?
Wonderful.
We'll get back to that. Let's check our pancakes out. Ooh,
wow.
That's looking good.
Look great.
So check this out. What we do now is I slice a little piece of this off. We get a perfect little round
Look at that.
of maple butter. See that?
Very creative.
Pass me that plate.
Here you go, Roger.
Thank you. Okay, I think our pancake's ready. You want to dump that out onto here? So we put our maple butter down. I like to finish with a little bit of honey. All right, get in there.
I'm in there.
That worked out good. Thanks for joining me today in the kitchen.
Thank you.
To find out more about cooking with corn, go to croplife.ca.